What's up guys, here I have my Redcat RDS. So you can tell, I have a Subaru WRX STI two-door body, a 1999 model. This body I've had for a while actually. Had it on a low C triple XS chassis from back in the day and just never ran it. I'm actually covering up the holes right now with those stickers. And that Circuit City sticker right there, and that other sticker covering the holes in the back. So this was on body post, but now it's on magnets and it's on my RDS. But first of all, I want to go ahead and talk about what I did when I started with this, because this started off as an RTR, Redcat RDS RTR, and I just want to show you guys what I went through to get to where it's at right now. So here's the stock Redcat RDS system. It's a 10BL60 by Hobbywing, and I'm going to assume that this motor is also a Hobbywing motor, but it is Redcat branded, and it is showing us 3300 kV. Now for an RTR, that's pretty good actually. Now I actually drift this thing at Tandem RC, and that track is a little bit longer, and it's got a longer turn that needs a little bit more power than this thing can provide. I mean, it has the speed, but I'm talking about the power to flick it once you're already sideways at speed. So after that, my next mod to this really was just a gyro. I really didn't like the way the gyro performed. I'm not sure if it'll perform better with the servo it has on it now, but the way it was then, I did not like it. So I put a micro gyro in here, guys. One from my little LDRCs that I run on those things, a little cheap little gyro called a Dasmikro V5. Yep, I am running a full 10 scale RC drift car with that tiny little micro gyro, and the performance is actually pretty unbelievable with this servo. Now all the little jittering I had, the little hunting I had with the gyro, which I thought was a gyro, was actually coming from the stock Redcat servo. But I did have that servo on here for a while, just until recently I changed it to this new servo that's in here. So we'll just talk about mods as I go. So what I did from this point on, after that installation of that gyro, I went ahead and installed this motor right here. Now this is an older motor of mine, Tac-On 3650, 3500 kV, so a little bit more wheel speed. And I just wanted to see if I ran that motor, if it was going to give me that little bit of torque at the high end just to get me to flick this car around at higher speeds. But you know, it was okay, not much better than the stock, still, you know, sensorless, but it did run pretty good either way. I would say, you know, this did increase the performance a little bit on the top end, but still too close to this to make it like a nice gain to buy. I wouldn't recommend it, you know, for you to buy one. I already had this motor laying around, so I just tested it, but I wouldn't recommend for you to upgrade this to that. So now after that, I went to this setup right here. There's a 10.5 turn censored motor right here from Amazon. I'll put the link below. And of course, the new Quick Run Generation 2 censored 10BL120 that has boost and turbo now. And here's what that motor looks like. I'm sorry it's still soldered onto there, because I think I am going to return this in this car right here. And I'm going to have the system that's in this car right now running on another build I'm possibly going to be doing soon here. You can tell it's a censored motor as well. Adjustable end bell right here for timing. 10.5 turn. It's a pretty light motor. They even have a lightened shaft right here, which I don't know if I like that or not. Maybe for drift car, not too bad, because not much load right here to really bend this or break this. But it is lighter than some motors. And of course the Quick Run 10BL120 G2. As you can tell, it's actually smaller than the BL60 uncensored or sensorless BL60. So that's pretty cool. Weight wise, it's pretty close. I can't really tell exactly because this one's still attached to something and this one's also still attached to a motor. But I would say they're pretty close in weight. But definitely size, this one is smaller. Has a smaller footprint than this one does. These ball cups and balls right here are actually from a very cheap 14 scale RC truck on Amazon. I can actually just put a link on that down below if I find it. But this is actually a very cheap RC truck this comes with, and I know you can buy the spare parts for it, and it definitely frees up the front so you don't have any binding up there and everything moves nice and freely up there now. Oh, and the only thing that's actually not part of this, and the only reason I didn't use a different brand, is because I was already at the track and I realized I used one of these straight links for this right here, and it was binding up when I was trying to get lock on this. So I had no choice. This is a Yokomo end right here. That's the only Yokomo part on here. The rest are cheaper 14 scale truck parts. Even the links this link right here. I did the same for the rear, just to free it up as well. I'm pretty sure it's hard to tell in the video, but this system, it runs pretty good. And I actually have a lot of good things to say about this ESC right here, and even this motor. They run well together, and for drifting, I'd say it's probably good for 90% of everyone. That's even including me, guys. This is probably all you really need for drifting. You want to get into more adjustability and stuff, yes, you could do that, but for just basic, you just want to go out there and drift, you know, join some little tandem drifting or do a little drift train, you know, this will do it for you. The rest is just going to be your setup on the car, and yeah, this is a good system. Now my next upgrade is this A50 BHL from AGFRC, and this is a programmable servo as well. Comes with a metal servo horn that obviously I'm not using in the RDS because it has its own stuff. And it fits the stock servo horn, the aluminum servo horn, and the stock horn of the RDS, so no modded needed there. But I will note one thing pretty soon here about this servo on this setup. I did also get the Programmer, but as you can tell, it's still in the package and I haven't used it yet because the program out the box actually worked pretty well for my setup. So after installing that servo onto this car, the performance increased some more. So now this is a faster servo. Even on 6 volt, it's faster than this thing on its full voltage. On the Hexfly servo can handle 8.4, I believe, but I was running it at 7.4, and it was still slower than this on 6 volts. So now I'm just running it on 6 volts, and this thing's fine. 10BL120 and that endless motor from Amazon. And man, it ran really good that way, perfectly fine. How can I do a legit comparison if I actually don't have a legit nice system to compare it to? So I can't just sit here and tell you that the BL120 is good enough for everyone and stuff and not actually compare it to this system. Check out this Bling System from Hobbywing. The XD10 Pro drift specific Hobbywing ESC. And a drift specific Hobbywing D10 motor. This is a 10.5 turn as well, just like that other endless motor. And here's that AGFRC Servo sitting in there nicely. And the one thing I had to point out is this mount right here. The opening for the servo was not big enough for the AGFRC mount. I had to shave a little bit. You can't see it here because this carbon fiber mount covers it, but I had to shave a little bit off the plastic mount in there and shave a little bit off the front. Very tiny bit, and this thing was snugly fit right in there. And I am running it right now on a 16T pinion, but I wasn't running it on this pinion at the track. So the video you're watching, I'm still running on the stock pinion, and it was too fast, way too fast. The wheel speed was not giving me any grip, and I was just sliding around too much everywhere. It's on that 16T pinion and stock spur still. I did have to modify this to fit, guys. It did not fit normally. You cannot push this down far enough in this stock location they put it in to run a 16T. I think a 22T was the max I could have ran. So I did have to change this mounting system in here. I'll try to put a picture on here if I remember. But I did change the way that it mounts down here. I did have to shave some parts right here on the transmission to make it fit. So that way I can go far down enough to fit a 16-tooth pinion in there. And as you can tell in there, that's my little micro Dasmikro gyro just sitting naked right there in between the little pillars. And of course my Noble NB4 Plus receiver. And this is how everything's sitting in there nice and clean right now. Yes, I know I could have shortened the wires, but I'm still not sure, you know, where this is going to end up. And I'm pretty sure this system is not going to end up in this car. This is just for testing, just to show you guys that you don't have to go all out to have something perform really, really well. That BL120 Gen 2, it's a performer for sure. And man, for 50 bucks, you cannot beat the price. As you can tell right here, the stock arm, I trimmed front and rear. I actually got rid of one of the mounting holes. But if you look at it compared to the aluminum one, it is still a longer arm. The aluminum one definitely is shorter, and it moves the mounting point inwards once. You're going to have one more adjustment inwards. And I think the most inwards on the plastic one is going to be the outer of the aluminum one. The aluminum parts look pretty sweet, and they do say Redcat on them, as you can tell right there on the servo horn and the lower control arm. The upper one looks to be the same as the plastic, so getting that one is just going to be an aesthetic. And here's a more detailed look at the trimming I did. I kind of went overboard, made them really thin, and you see I actually grinded it down all the way to the threads. And once I saw sparks, I knew I needed the aluminum one. We have the Redcat upgraded hub right here, steering knuckle. So you can tell it has different mounting points down here. You even get a steering stopper. And it ties down all the upgrades nicely because it makes everything more free, and you get all the angle you need with a stopper. And this thing is at 90 degrees now, pretty much, guys. Check that out. That's pretty good angle. So yes, I pretty much replaced everything, you know, ESC, motor, got a programmer added onto it, a better servo, and I even have some upgrade parts to it as well, and a different gyro. So pretty much, some people would say I would have been better off starting off with a kit, but I did get sent this by Redcat as an RTR. But not only that, I also believe the RTR is worth it, especially if you're new to it. You know, it's a very good price point to get into the hobby and try it out. And you can try everything out, and you know, yes, you're probably going to upgrade it like this in the end, but if it didn't get you into it, at least you didn't spend that much money like this costs right now. So there you guys go, the Redcat RDS, now with a WRX body on it. Magnetic body mount. I think I showed you guys how that worked out, right? Just magnets up top right here. The stock body mounts that they included in the box right there, that plastic piece. And I just bought those cheap little $12 things on Amazon, body mounts. And the front one just mounted right there. And this body just happens to be the perfect height, just to, you know, fit this body really nice on there. I think it looks cool. Yes, I know WRX, it's an all-wheel drive vehicle. It's not really a drifter, but hey, it's a nice looking car. And I'm just gonna have fun with it until I find another chassis and body to run. And this is gonna be my loaner vehicle. And I'm also gonna change this right here, probably to a GT3C, and see how it runs with that. Because like I said, it's gonna be a loaner vehicle, and I'm just gonna, you know, have something that I'm gonna be carefree handing to people. Well guys, there you go. RDS update, and hope you guys, you know, enjoy this. And I will have the setup pretty soon, you know, the camber, toe adjustments, and everything front and rear, what was done to this, just in case you guys want to follow that. And I'll have the full list spec down there in the description on what's installed on this right now and how it's running right now. Alright guys, thanks for watching as usual, and as always, stay safe out there, go have fun, and run that RC.